All right, call the meeting to order. Discussion and possible action on approving the meeting minutes from the April 18th, the April 23rd, April 25th, and May 22nd, 2019 meetings.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion is second to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion and possible action on convening into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.85 sub 1 sub E to deliberate regarding negotiating strategy in which competitive and bargaining reasons require with respect to a draft ambulance services agreement with Lakeview Memorial Hospital for emergency medical services in the city of Hudson.
Move to go into closed session.
Second.
Motion is second to go into closed session. Roll call. Alms?
Yes.
Good deal.
Yes.
O'Connor, yes.
Sorry, I'm trying to take minutes.
All right, we're in closed session. Step across the hall. Session. Wait for Kathy. So there are a number of things that, obviously, this language was worked out between Kathy and Carl. There had been agreement on most everything, if not everything, but there are a couple changes that we're going to talk about here and a couple questions that came up that we're going to ask you guys.
Table or podium?
Pardon me?
Table or podium?
Oh, can they be?
Yeah.
at the-
Oh, yeah.
Oh, table.
Table.
Oh, table, that was a question, table. All right. We're gonna go through this the same way we did last time, till we run into snags. We are in agreement in recitals on A, the changes to A. On 1.2, subs A and B. Kathy, I don't have page 2 except for on the old, I do on the original draft. You have page 2, we're working off the original, or on 28? Is this it, the 28? Yeah. 1.3,
Oh, wait. Hold on.
subs A and B.
Well, now, wait a second. We had some changes in the committee.
On the, okay, on these two?
It is
Okay.
expected that the Hudson Fire Department shall assist
Oh, yeah.
or
Respond and assist.
respond and assist on all Lakeview EMS calls.
Okay,
So-
we're hoping on some of this stuff that you guys can just sign off on it, so we can get it in. I would think that'd be one of them.
Say that again. It is expected that the Hudson Fire Department shall respond.
And assist on all Lakeview EMS calls involving car accidents and cardiac arrests.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Okay? That was A, and then B. Is there anything different?
Yeah. This was Hudson Fire Department shall respond as requested by Lakeview EMS instead of as needed
Yeah.
on life assist and other unusual rescue or EMS. So that's okay.
Okay, you guys are good with that?
Yep.
Okay. Did we have anything?
We had structure fire standby coverage, that last sentence. I think you've seen it. Lakeview EMS will assist firefighters as needed, including but not limited to helping
Yes.
swap out air.
Yep.
That's good?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, what number is that?
That's 2.3, last
3.
sentence.
Got it. Okay. And then,
It's on the 5/30/19 version.
yeah. I don't have page 2 though on that.
Oh,
So now
okay.
we're back on,
I don't have.
all right, so,
Swapping out
on
the air
page
tanks
3.
and
we're going to 5.1, is that right? Next?
Yep, yep.
fire response.
Do you have the,
Were you missing page 2 on yours?
Yeah, I got one from my other contract.
yeah, we're kind of working off.
Yeah,
No, I got the old one here.
All right, so we're down to 5.1.
I do trust you.
recognize.
Yes.
5.1.
Somebody does.
Trust us.
5.1?
Yep.
The first sentence, Lakeview EMS intent is to deliver the fastest response time possible considering safety, weather, and other relevant circumstances.
Well, this is all agreed on. We're not changing this, are we?
Well, that was today.
That was
Oh,
added.
that was today. Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Right.
But Carl agreed to this, I thought.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Nate
Carl.
did in his email.
Fastest response time possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we left it with the fractile goal of 9 minutes or less, 90% of the time, and then parentheses, fractile response time. Okay. So that's good on the 5/30/19 version.
6.2, we're looking at
B.
Yeah.
B, changes to B. Kathy?
You want me to read it?
Yeah.
Mutual aid usage rate of 5% or more of the call volume for the Lakeview EMS Hudson service area for 3 consecutive months.
Yeah.
So again, we reworked that language.
We
so
just
said-
reworked that.
Because you said originally you said of, then you said to, and now we're back to
Now we're back to
But we took out the annual,
And took out increase,
Right.
which changes them.
yeah.
So we're
Yes.
thinking in comparison to
increase.
total
So it makes
calls.
sense to all of us for the first time.
You want me to read it to you again?
Well, it doesn't to us anymore. I got it, increase in mutual aid usage of.
No increase, just mutual aid
Got it.
usage rate
Oh, all
of
right.
5% or more call volume for the Lakeview EMS Hudson service
Yeah.
area for 3
Yeah.
consecutive months.
Got it.
Is that agreeable?
Yep.
Okay. And then on C, that's just a capital, that's.
Yeah,
nothing
that's
needs to be
just a
done, that's just-
capital.
Okay. 7.1.
We did have a question on the C.
Pardon?
We did have a question on the C, right?
Right, yeah. On C, we wanted to, said this should be how it applies to the Hudson EMS service area, not the way it reads now, is it the whole Lakeview EMS
Yeah,
rate, or we want to be looking at the Hudson area?
that's fine. I would agree to
Not
that.
sure what words should we be using?
Okay.
Ambulances or,
based in Hudson.
The Hudson service area, Hudson ambulance service area.
I mean, you would be calculating it on each ambulance.
The two, for the
The
two
two that are
ambulances,
based in
yeah.
Hudson.
You'd base, the calculation would be 48 hours a day
As a whole.
times the run
between
volume.
two.
Right,
Right.
yeah. I mean, you could calculate it in any formula you wanted so we don't have to include the other trucks. You can just do the trucks that are here.
So what
Okay, so-
language do you want?
Just put Hudson service area.
Yeah.
In the Hudson
Ambulances
service area.
based in the Hudson service area?
Yeah. On ambulances based.
On ambulances based in Hudson service area. Okay,
Okay.
and that's okay?
Is with me.
Okay.
All right, on 7.1, there are a couple changes to language that Kathy and Carl thought might clean this up a little bit, but this is a piece that had already been approved, so I will entertain a motion to reconsider this language.
So moved.
Second?
Motion and second to reconsider, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion's approved, we can reconsider this. So you want to explain the language?
Yeah, this is just to kind of clean it up for the other municipalities. Instead of
Yep.
sign on to this agreement, contract with Lakeview EMS under terms that are the same or similar to this agreement, recognizing that adjustments may need to be
Yeah,
made.
you and Carl talked
So
about it.
there'll be separate agreements.
Yep.
We didn't want to,
Okay. 8.2, get down to the bottom.
that was just the AED
Taking out the
Recert-
resuscitation, recertification.
recertification, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah,
I
makes
did
sense.
that, yep.
Did you have an answer on the Narcan, the drug itself? That's something that you're looking into?
I did not, because the issue that I found out this afternoon is we don't know for sure if legally our pharmacy can dispense medications across the border.
Who supplies ours?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
So
That we
somebody
need to
thought it
find.
might be Regions, which would be across state
That's
lines.
Could be.
who are,
But that's across state lines.
That's
Yeah.
who your medical direction is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that that's who would supply your Narcan.
yeah, I guess.
So,
Now, if there's an option,
I was just gonna,
go ahead, John.
no,
You're on it.
no, I talked to our pharmacy director this morning, and she said, worst case scenario, she just wasn't sure. And she said, worst case scenario, we could come up with an agreement with Hudson. But you're right, Regions does supply their services with medications. We don't have to do that because we have our own pharmacy. So there probably already is, someone's probably already looked into that.
Obviously, I mean, that's a problem. If our guys are being resupplied by our EMS, I mean, we need to be resupplied.
Yeah, and Regions is not gonna, they would have looked into that before they did it. I mean, they very particular about their dispensing and tracking, so.
Well, and I think our process right now, and I know that Jeff is going to be speaking to our medical director this coming Monday.
Yeah,
I think the process, if an officer is using Narcan, they've used it up, how do they get replenished because they're still on shift,
right.
right? And so currently, my understanding of what's happening is that they're resupplied by that ambulance that is St. Croix EMS.
Yeah.
So that would be more the question too.
So we, the Narcan that we're supplying law enforcement officers with is different than what we carry in the ambulance. However, just in the last week, I talked with one of our law enforcement departments about that very thing. And we could easily start carrying what we give them. So they use a nasal dose.
Gotcha.
And we don't use that. So, that version of how they dispense it, so.
Right.
That's not a problem. It's actually a good idea. So if they do use it on scene, we're on scene with them, here you go. That's
Right.
what we do with our first responders, so.
So you would supply Narcan to our police department as a first responder?
If you can.
If you can.
Yes, if you can, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's the only question of if
Yeah,
you
and
can.
we can do work on our end to make sure that we're.
Okay.
Is that language
Yeah.
that needs to put in there?
Yeah, I would say we'd put into 8.2 medical
Allowable
supplies
by
as
law.
need, including Narcan. I mean, that just was a question if that included that.
As allowed by law.
As, yeah.
Hmm.
Does that work?
Yeah, did we pull this, in 8.1, at the end of that paragraph, it says, and this, we would, wait,
We're not,
I'm on the wrong one.
yeah, we're not,
But did we pull the,
First
You had since-
responders includes, but is not limited to the City of Hudson Police and City of Hudson Fire.
Didn't we
Mhm.
have that?
yeah,
As an
that was in
addition.
there, but on the Narcan, Kathy, I think you sent a question over today.
that's 8.2.
Yeah, that's 8.2, that is Narcan included in the disposable medical supplies? And you're answering yes, so I'm going to add that in, disposable medical supplies, including Narcan as needed. But then there's that separate question you have to work out on whether you are able to, or
Well,
the as allowed by law.
the language I saw today, I don't remember if it was in this one.
Oh, in the,
It's Hudson Fire Department.
oh, that was,
So you're back on 8.1.
yeah, it's just the police.
Um,
The fire department doesn't carry it, is
Correct.
my
Yeah,
understanding.
that's.
You
the
just
only-
want to delineate that?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we make that clear that it doesn't include the fire department.
Oh, okay,
And the only reason that is because they currently don't first respond. If there becomes a day that they do that and it makes sense for them to do it,
Right.
we would want to work with them on that. But because they don't first respond, we wouldn't supply them with Narcan.
Let me ask you this on, I lost my train of thought. let's say we develop a first responder program,
Yeah.
right? Do you typically supply first responders that are not law enforcement, Narcan, or no?
We have we have two departments that do it. Stillwater Fire does it, but they did it on their own. So we have no involvement with them. They work with our medical director, but through their own department. And then North St. Paul Fire Department just started doing it.
Gotcha.
On their
And-
own, or?
No, with
you?
us, yeah. So we supply it for both departments.
And they're acting as first responder
Yes,
in
they are.
those.
They are true first responders.
All right, so for purposes of what we're doing right now, though, on 8.1, we're striking at the end, City of Hudson Fire Department.
I would keep that there.
We can do that later. If they become first responders, we can do that later. They're not first responders right now.
Well, why don't we just put, if City of Hudson Fire Department, if it becomes a first responder?
Why even have that last sentence in there?
Sure.
Well, there was some question, I guess.
Well,
I mean,
just-
that-
We just want a definition around
Just-
first responders, and
Just
what does
leave
that
it at
mean?
First responders, right?
Yeah,
Because if you add people into first responders that
Yeah.
fit that criteria.
Includes but not limited to,
yeah.
you might as well cross it. Good point.
includes,
Okay.
so what are we doing?
We're
Yeah.
crossing the last sentence.
The first responders includes but is not limited to?
Yeah.
City of Hudson, okay.
Is that right?
I guess I
Yeah.
thought at some point someone wanted to make. it
Yeah, I
clear.
wanted to delineate that,
Well, but it's
a little
not.
bit of a definition, but the police department is. So do we just strike
They're first
fire
responders.
department?
They're already covered.
Okay.
And that opens the door for any first responder unit that we bring in.
Are there first responder groups in communities that are carrying Narcan?
Mm-hmm. There is, and it is allowable in the state of Wisconsin. We don't have any of our first responders over here currently doing it. We've had a couple of them have interest in doing it and would like to do the training.
Food for thought.
All right, so,
Just as long as it's
Good
I'm sorry, just as long as it's understood that the police department is a first responder program. I
Yeah.
mean, is that typical nomenclature? That's what I just wanted to.
In our world, in EMS, usually law enforcement is considered a first responder.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay, so we're
And-
crossing that line,
Yep, in 8.1.
and we're done with 8.2.
8.2 we'll put including Narcan as allowed by
Yeah.
law.
All right, I have next 11.1. And I think we're working off the earlier draft.
Yeah, that was the appointment process, who gets to appoint, and we added the St. Croix County representative, non-voting, in 11.1, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
And each municipality decides their appointment and removal procedure and terms.
Okay. Good with that? I mean, that's already
Good with
agreed on,
that.
right?
Yeah,
11.2, you're gonna like this one again, too. We're down to H, we're undeleting H,
oh yeah, that,
so we're back to the original language.
you indicated that rate increases are public,
So
so,
anything that is required by law, especially in the state of Minnesota, everything's published, that's required to be published. So if their rate increase goes up, there's 5,500 charges or whatever on there that you can look at. So I
so
think
we
just by
can
virtue
include
of
this?
that.
So what?
We can put this back into
Undelete.
H.
So I think where, as I'm reading this, Kathy, where I think the confusion is rate increases to patients. So our charges are public. So an individual patient charge may be what's protected because of contracts that we have with third-party payers and that
Right.
type of thing.
So we don't
So-
need two patients.
So I would say not to patients, so our.
Oh, he thought like individual patients
As I
or
read
something?
that,
Oh,
that's what
yeah.
stood out.
Everyone's different. Every
So,
plan is different.
okay, rate,
Standard billing rates?
you want standard
That's-
billing rates?
Yeah, or billing rates, yeah, billing rates for EMS services.
Okay, so,
That makes sense.
once again, we have to reconsider this because this was already passed. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion's approved.
So,
Kathy, what I
okay,
will say
billing
is,
rate, increases in billing rates, is that what we want?
you can just put billing rates, period,
Billing rates,
because they could go down.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
There you go.
Well, changes in billing rates. How about,
point.
I mean, the idea is you're going to report changes in billing rates.
So it's actually redundant because that is the law already. So by stating it, we're just,
I think what we're doing is just putting it on
Restating
on the committees.
yeah.
Yeah,
Agenda.
so
okay.
changes in billing rates.
Once a year, they're gonna be.
Yep.
okay.
I think
Okay,
he's saying just billing rates, period,
okay,
aren't you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
And-
That's
and
what you
we're-
want?
And we're also leaving that though with the financial assistance.
Yeah, and changes in the Lakeview Hospital's financial assistance policy.
You know, one thing that I do want to bring up before I forget, I'm not sure where this comes in, but we might as well do it now, is, do you by any chance put on your billing, that people might be eligible for financial assistance?
Or that you have a financial assistance policy.
I can't
Individual
answer.
bills that go to people?
You know, I can get you an answer to that, but, because I've not looked at my bill that closely. But I can get you an answer to that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's something that we all agree we'd like to see on the bills, if it's not. And I'm,
Just to make it, just so
when
people
I say
know.
all,
what to do.
I'm not
I mean the
getting-
six
yeah.
of us.
Right, I'm not gonna, I don't think you're six, alone in that thought. I'll look into the answer for that,
Okay.
so.
Okay.
All right, so 11.3, I think it's just, is there anything substantive there?
No, that,
Just getting
Right.
the,
yep,
the two parentheses and the two buts
Yes.
changed, okay. And then we get to 12.2, and, I'm sorry, 12.3. Is this,
this is the one where it just was reorganized.
yeah.
There were no
But what I'm
sub.
looking at
Oh.
here is 12.2, it's got A, B, C, D that you already deleted, so I'm just figuring that's just kind of needs to be cleaned up. That should read 12.3 at the top up there,
Dedicated and, yeah, mine does, maybe it,
up at the top, here. So we go right from 12.2, which seems to be standalone, and on the very next page, it would appear to be like 12.2A, 12.2.
this is all gonna drop out.
I know that, but this should be 12.3 up here, right?
Yeah, it will be, if you look at,
So that's all out. So we're down to
Yeah, it's
12.3.
format.
Everything was deleted and redone. You guys saw all that? Okay.
Yep,
Now we're good with that?
yep.
You already approved A, C, and D according to my notes.
Oh, let's
From
do it.
12.3 to
Oh.
last
Yeah, that was.
Oh, yeah, I did
yep,
mark it down here to
yep.
reconsider.
Move
Okay.
to reconsider.
Second,
Motion second to reconsider section 12.3 items, whatever we had approved. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion's approved, reconsider. And we're just going back and now adding in the language
Well,
for
today-
12.3, 12.31
Yes.
AB,
That's it.
12.32 AB, 12.33 AB.
Yeah, and that came.
Everybody good?
That came in a second,
Yep.
Carl.
Okay. Next, what I have is, that's just a typo that's gonna be redone. 13.2. Oh, that's where we end up with the print on the bill assistance program. so.
Yeah,
13.2, anything here? Everybody okay?
Question.
Yep.
I thought we were gonna include that as an attachment, or am I not reading far enough into there?
yeah, is are we talking about 14.1 or 13.2?
13.2.
Yeah, attached to this agreement, I just haven't, it's in there. The financial, copy of
Oh,
the current.
okay, there you go, I'm reading this cross out,
It's
sorry.
hard
Is
to,
attached
yeah,
to this
it's
agreement.
very hard to
Gotcha.
read. But it's there.
Okay.
And she'll provide a copy of the updated policy to the Performance Review Committee.
We good?
Okay.
14.1?
Wait a minute, for 13.2, did you add the language about printing the financial?
No, they're checking on that to see if
Okay.
they can do that.
So then, that can't be
No, it's not.
approved until that's done.
Well, the language that we have can be approved and we can, you know. How do you want to do it?
Well, can you find out before,
I'm working on it.
oh. Monday, I was gonna,
No, he's doing it right now,
Yeah.
so. Are
Should we
you,
put some sample language in there?
Well,
I mean,
We need to
let
hear
me
if
say,
they can do that.
that's a lot bigger thing than just Lakeview changing something on a bill.
yeah, if they're not doing it right now, that's a whole billing system change that's got to be done.
And I do think that, based on the numbers we've been given, a lot of people are getting access to the financial program, so.
Oh, definitely.
So I'm not,
Yeah.
I mean, that can also be handled like you call the right billing company and say, hey, what can we, so there's different ways to do that as well.
Right.
It's good to make them, it's good if it could be, but I'm saying you could also get that in another way.
All right, we're
You
going to
know.
skip 13.2 right
Yeah,
now.
I'll come back,
then.
we'll try.
14.1?
this is again just making it a attachment, and Carl also referred to it online, and provide the performance review committee with updated protocols and so forth.
No issue there.
No, that's how we operate
15.2, we're
today.
good. B, I, Kathy, you got something there, I think, right? Or not?
What one are we on now?
15.2
Oh,
BI.
15.2. Yeah, this is one of the ones Carl and I agreed on today. Just having a notice period, getting it consistent for the city that they can terminate upon 1 year's notice, and that Lakeview would continue to provide service during that 1 year
Okay.
for all these types of termination notices. And then,
We talked about
if we
the,
weren't successful in resolving the dispute, that could also be a basis for termination, and Carl and I discussed that.
Okay.
we also talked about a shorter cure, or just
The
the,
question came up, we didn't have any language.
Correct.
I forwarded it to, about a shorter cure period. Oh, we did talk about it in the committee, maybe having that referred to the performance, I think we, review committee to determine an appropriate default cure period.
and maybe not a default,
case-
but on a case-by-case scenario, we're assuming that maybe there's cures that could happen sooner than 6 months, right? Minor pieces, but there's some that may go longer. So leaving that to the committee as a decision, would you be agreeable to that?
I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I think as flexibility in this, we're not gonna treat everything that goes wrong
Yeah.
the same.
Right,
Nor should we wait 6 months to cure something that should be cured by
Yeah,
right.
clock.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think.
And so
All
again,
right,
back
so
to
do we
that
have
performance
language for
committee.
that?
no, we don't.
I mean, does that
I don't have specific language
Can
for
we,
it.
length of time
Right.
each time?
you guys have any type of language that you,
Well, Carl is out till Monday.
well, but it might be agreeable right now.
I thought maybe we put it on the, I have to look at my.
Back into the
We
committee.
put it in the committee, and I think we put it in the list of
Oh, that's right, we
various
had it.
things. Oh, yeah, okay, 11.2,
That's what it was.
Performance Review Committee. So I'm looking at B, second line, address specific issues and concerns related to EMS services provided within the city by Lakeview, including response times, recommend possible corrective actions, comma, and then this would be new, determine appropriate default cure periods on a case-by-case basis. Would that be amenable?
I think so.
Yeah, I think,
The 15.
Yes, and then in 15.2, oh,
Or as
we
recommended.
change, I guess we would change 15.2 to no more then? Is that what than
Yeah.
6 months?
Yeah.
Well, no, because we said there might be some things that would take longer than 6 months. You know, for example, if it's a new ambulance and there's a
Right.
crash on the ability to get new ambulances.
Yeah.
And all that can be, that's a big lead time item. So I think we wanted to do was leave it that probably
Okay.
the insert that the committee is, review committee is.
Within the
established
cure,
the
okay,
cure
so if there's a situation that requires a cure period, it has to go to the committee. If it's not,
Yeah, it would come from the committee.
Yeah.
The committee would push that into the, so say, here's a situation, here's the corrective action, and here's the cure period that we're now working on.
well, so let's look at B small I. If the other party has not cured the default within the default cure period as determined by the committee in (11.2). Does that work?
I agree, except I don't know if we should use the term default. Default to means every
Well-
situation. Just, I think just strike default. Why have default?
Well, because this is a termination provision based on a
Oh.
default.
Notice of default. My
Yeah.
misunderstanding, thank you, yes.
So we're going back, we're amending 11.2.
Yep. To,
And
you want me to read that
you
again?
guys need that again? Might as well.
Okay. I'm looking at the small b, 11.2 small b in the second line, address specific issues and concerns related to EMS services within the city by Lakeview EMS, including response time, strike the and, recommended possible corrective actions, and determining appropriate default cure periods on a case-by-case basis as provided in 15.2. Section 15.2. And then 15.2 would be B, small I.
B small.
And 15.2 B small I would read, I have to get one I can read. Terminate the agreement upon providing written notice of default to the other party, period, if the other party has not cured the default within the default cure period determined by the committee under 11.2, Performance Review Committee.
yep.
Okay.
Got it?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
We need a motion for any of that? 15?
No, well, I mean, we're gonna need a motion for all of it.
Yeah, I
so-
don't think
And I'm
we
just
had-
indicating in here where we are amending the language. You good on 15.2 then? Done? 15 point, I'm sorry, up to that point, 15.2D.
We added the one-year notice of termination. This is a little confusing. Within say we get receipt that this change has occurred, we have 6 months to provide a notice, and then it's a one-year notice again of termination. The idea is the city, unless otherwise agreed, but generally the feeling is the city might need a year to get some alternate
Right.
service.
Okay. 15.3.
That's the new language Carl and I agreed on today. EMS services during that one-year termination notice period. During the one-year termination notice period, Lakeview shall continue to provide EMS services at the same level provided at the time the notice of termination was given. That's to protect both the city and then Lakeview. Okay, you guys have given your termination notice, we're not going to increase, be required to increase resources during, if you're going to terminate in 1 year.
Right. At the same level as the, okay?
Okay?
Yep.
16.1,
That's just to clean up, because you can resolve things by doing the default procedure under
Okay.
15.2. It's
Good.
not substantive.
16.4,
Oh, and this is again, if resolution procedure isn't successful, then that's a basis for termination.
Right.
Carl and I talked about that.
Yeah.
okay? 18.1,
That's where, except during any contract notice, termination notice period, during that period, we can figure out what we're doing. Carl and I talked about that. I think that was actually done before. And then on soliciting for employment, we eliminated the or hire. And solicit does not include advertising open positions in regular and customary ways. So what this provision has been changed to, it prohibits either party from soliciting the other, but most likely prohibits us from having any kind of direct communication with Lakeview employees, but we can advertise open positions if we're in a position of, in the future, of starting up a service again.
okay? That's all we got. Any answer on notification on the billing?
No.
So, I would say
Feel-
there is, as Paul pointed out, it would appear as though there is some way that you guys are communicating to your patients that there is assistance.
I know it's online. I know for sure it's online, and I was trying to see if I could find it, but I don't know where,
The policy's online. I was looking at everything on here, just says call the billing office.
Right.
So I was looking at my own bill.
Well, the other thing I'm guessing is your bills will be printed for a large service area, larger than Hudson, so
it's
how,
right on the,
how would
A
you,
million.
right on the hospital website,
how would you define?
under
2.9
business
million.
office, under quick links, there's charity care application. So I mean, it's on the website of Lakeview Hospital.
And that's something the city, we ourselves can make people aware of,
Right.
in the newspaper or whatever. There's ways that we can
Yeah.
make people aware in the city if we're talking about our citizens, right?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, we could put a link
Yeah, and then
to
every-
it on our website.
everything is
for
all there
EMS
then.
Service.
Okay.
So all the information, there's multiple opportunities there.
Okay. All right, so I will move that we now include, under recitals on page 1A, 1.2A, 1.2B, before I run into problems without page 2, what's
Yeah.
next?
I'm sorry.
I've got it on the other, I think.
It's 1.3A
1.3A,
as we
I
changed.
got it, yep, as amended. 1.3B, as amended.
Yes. To as requested by.
2.3,
Yep.
5.1, 6.2, B and C, 7.1, 8.1, 8.2, 11.1, 11.2 as amended.
Can I just clarify that
Yep.
8.2 is as amended, including Narcan is allowed by law?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, okay, 8.2 as amended, sorry about that, thank you. 11.2 as amended. 11.3. 12.31, A and B. 12.32, A and B. 12.33, A and B. 13.2, 14.1, 15.2, B, I as amended, and II. 15.2D, 15.3, 16.1, 16.4, 18.1.
Can I just, what did we have in 11?
What did we have in 11?
11.1 and 11.2.
11.2 you amended
Yep.
to make a
Billing.
reference
Yep,
back to
yep. Did we have anything else in 11?
11.1. I have a reference here to look back at the earlier draft.
Oh,
That was the
that
non-voting.
something was
rep.
dropped out. Oh,
Oh,
no.
that's the, yeah, this has to do with the performance review advisory. B was included, and it also had to do with the county dispatch.
Yeah, yep, I got
Okay.
that.
All right,
I just thought there was something
okay.
on, in, anything else in 11 that needed to be approved? I just didn't hear you, that's all. I'm
No, I think,
checking.
no, that
Okay,
was it,
Okay,
whatever was there.
yep, okay.
Second?
Got a motion, a second, discussion,
Tell me again. Oh, you made the motion.
yeah, for
Okay.
all of those.
Yep,
And we're including what we already passed from last time, or
Right.
do we not need to?
No, oh, no, we don't have to,
No.
we're just adding this to that framework,
Very good.
okay? Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Nice job. All right, so we have a contract. Is there a motion to send the contract to the city council?
So move.
Second?
Got a motion second, send the contract to city council, discussion?
Is there a timing piece that, when you guys say send it, are you talking about Monday's meeting, or are you talking about 2 weeks from then? Do you have a sense of?
I would prefer to get it to the council right away. Now, that doesn't mean the council has to act on it right away.
Right.
Okay, but I think the quicker that we get it there, the better off everybody is. So, but are there other ancillary discussions? And obviously, we've identified at least one or two of those tonight. So, but that's what I would like to do. That can be, that's a motion you guys can make.
You guys have a sense? I guess part of me says I'd like to share this with a few folks in dialogue, or bounce this off a few constituents, that type of thing. And I don't know it's Thursday night right now, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, so it's just a very short time frame. What I would like to do in terms of getting some public feedback on it. But it's up for, up for you guys. I know there's time pressures in terms of wanting a decision to be made, and I get that too, so I get both sides of it.
In the same vein, I think all the council members need to have that just available to share.
Yep.
And until we get to them, they don't have this until we actually get it to them. So they need that, the other 3 members
Oh, I see what you're
need to
saying.
have this as well if they're, to go through whatever process they need to go through.
Okay, that's
So,
fair.
From that perspective, I would say we need to get it there soon, as soon as possible. We don't have to take action on it because there's a lot there.
The discussion, possible action.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to ask about, we had that meeting, you and I, with the employees of St. Croix EMS, about
That's-
timing,
Oh, the what?
about timing
Timing.
Oh,
from their
It was
perspective.
just one person that we talked with, and the contract would be available, it'll be
Right.
put out there. So it'll be, the moment it's sent to the council, we can suggest that it also be put out on the website.
I'm sorry, I'm talking about a different, the transition period should,
Oh,
if we want to ask that of Lakeview.
it was, first things first.
yeah.
Okay, so there's
It's
a
really
motion.
not on
The motion
agenda
is
either.
to send it to the council,
Mhm.
and we will put it on the agenda for Monday night. Council can discuss it, do what they want. Was there a second to that?
Yes, I
Okay.
seconded.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved.
Now we can cover it as a way. So,
I don't know that we can really discuss, do you have an agenda?
No, I don't.
All we have is the contract. That's a council discussion, really.
okay.
Okay, well, or not.
Right.
All right, I think the work is done here for now.
Move to adjourn?
Second?
Motion and second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Good work, everybody. Participation, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thanks for hanging in there with us again.